It is not a good time to be a YouTube viewer right now, to be honest. I just had to unsub from some of my favorite YouTubers semi-recently for moral reasons, and it just sucks. Like, it feels like every person on this website that I like watching, half of them are just like terrible people, or they support terrible things, or they're ignorant and they support terrible things out of ignorance, or because they really do just like those terrible things. It sucks, okay? In the past couple years, I've had to unsub from my favorite YouTubers, not just ones that I watch, my absolute favorite. My favorite YouTuber of all time, which was Danny Gonzalez. I unsubbed from Drew Gooden and Curtis too. Curtis way before Drew Gooden and Danny, mainly because like, the reason I unsubbed from Curtis is I never really watched him that much. I kind of just started watching him because he was friends with Danny Gonzalez and Drew Gooden, and I thought his content was kind of interesting. But then he donated $1,000 to BLM, and I just couldn't support him after that. Like, that organization has done so much harm to not only black people, like racial tensions in the US and society as a whole, that the fact that he donated $1,000 to them, even after the riots that happened, like, what the fuck? You gotta be some fuckhead to do some shit like that. You're basically donating to a domestic terrorist organization at that point. Like, after all the shit that organization has done. And also, majority of the funds just get laundered into the CEO's pockets anyway. I don't know if you knew that. I don't even know if the leader of a charity organization is called a CEO, but they're multimillionaires, okay? They didn't just get that money from nowhere. So that's why I had to unsub from Curtis. And then I had to unsub from Drew Gooden, and I really liked him because he donated to a charity that helps black trans people, which already I have problems with those kinds of organizations that single out people like that, because not only are majority of the times they're scams that just launder money, but why are you pointing out someone by race and only helping them? That's kind of fucked up. I get that the government has completely fucked over the black community over the years, but also, as a Christian, I can't support people being trans. So if I'm watching someone and my views are contributing to the money they're donating to organizations like that, I can't morally watch them anymore, okay? If, like, I tolerate people being gay, okay? Because I get you could be confused, you could have been groomed, whatever. There's a lot of, like, psychological stuff that goes into being gay, but being trans, you are just destroying your whole life by doing that shit. And for someone who supports that, I can't watch them anymore. And for Danny Gonzalez, I feel like his is probably the most forgivable because it might just be ignorance. But at the end of one of his videos, I don't remember exactly which one, he put arrest the cop that shot Breonna Taylor. And if you don't know about that situation, I didn't actually know anything about the situation when I saw that. So I decided to research it and become educated on it, because I thought, if this is something that's important, I should know about it, you know? And basically what the situation was, is this cop, one night he was working overtime and he just wanted an easy case. And so he saw this one warrant that was a no-knock warrant, which means you don't have to knock, you could just break their door down. Because if he did have to knock, then you'd have to wait for them. And he just didn't feel like doing that. He wanted to go home because supposedly he'd been dealing with hundreds of warrants throughout the day and throughout the week. So he goes to the warrant, and then when he knocks the door down, after waiting to see if they'd come out for a while and they hadn't, there's two figures in this dark hallway, and within milliseconds of stepping into the doorway, he immediately gets shot at and returns fire. He gets hit in his artery, and he accidentally kills the girlfriend of the guy that was shooting at him, that he was using her as a human shield. And then the whole media goes and twists this story that he's some sort of racist cop that shot her maliciously. And for someone that wants him to get arrested for that, it's just ignorance. Don't speak on a topic if you're not educated on the topic, especially if you're calling someone to be arrested, okay? That's serious. You can't just say shit like that idly. That just goes to show whenever influencers speak on politics, They need to be educated. I'm tired of this shit where people feel obligated to say something about a topic because they have a platform. You're not obligated to do shit, okay? If you want to, then feel free to research the topic and say something. But if you're just someone that makes goofy commentary videos and you want to talk about something political or something that happened that became political, I don't even think that situation should have been political because it really wasn't, then at least educate yourself, okay? Because you're spreading misinformation, you're spreading a false narrative, and not only that, but you're making racial tensions even worse. Like, in case you don't know this, a lot of people don't know this, hate crimes is like one of the lowest, like, things that actually affect black people specifically. Black on black crime is like literally 500 times worse, okay? The amount of hate crimes that happen per year towards black people compared to black on black crime is literally like, it's like 0.2% as much. It's literally such a smaller amount. I'm not saying they don't happen. It is important to point those things out when they happen, but don't lie and say that it happened when it didn't. That's the shit Jussie Smollett did back in the day, and we all clowned on him for it because he was just fucking lying. Like, when did we stop doing things like that as a community where we clown on people for blatantly lying about shit like that to get people angry about something? And I also had to unsub from Mr. Beast recently. Sorry, someone just walked in. But like I was saying, I had to unsub from Mr. Beast recently for all the obvious shit that's coming out against him. You know, Chris Tyson grooming all those kids and him being in the same Discord server the whole time, knowing about it and doing nothing. Hiring someone who allegedly raped an 11-year-old girl. Endangering a lot of people with his Amazon show. Faking a lot of his videos and only giving out money to people who worked to him or that were friends with him. Faking giveaways, faking signatures on giveaways, stuff like that. Pretty shitty stuff, which really sucks because I never really got into Mr. Beast that much until like 2 months before this controversy happened, and I was at a pretty low point in my life then, and his videos actually inspired me to get better. And right when I started hearing about all this stuff, I kind of regressed because of it, because he was sort of the foundation of the inspiration I'd had at the time to, you know, improve my life. So, fuck him. Anyway, that's all I had to say. It's just a shitty time to be a YouTube viewer. You never know who you're gonna watch. That's just a fuckhead, and they don't deserve the views that they have, and it's just a shitty website, honestly. The fact, and social media websites in general suck ass. If you didn't know this, social media websites will purposefully show you things that make you angry, because when they show you things that make you angry, it makes you stay on the site longer. And I go out in the world and I see these people that are just on edge and pissed off all the time because they're just on their phone all the time because they're bored. And all the phone does is it rage baits them for engagement and twists their view of the world. And it's just a fucked up system in general. There needs to be some laws that are created about this shit because this is not okay. Just need to get some shit off my chest.